Mm. Kombucha, a sour, lightly fermented, carbonated drink that you can make for yourself at home. All you need is to have a friend that makes kombucha and can share some of their kombucha and SCOBY with you. A SCOBY is a microbial organism that is half yeast and half bacteria, and together it eats green tea and honey. This is a Jun SCOBY. That's its particular diet, and the byproduct of it is kombucha. You can actually make kombucha out of any sort of juice or tea, but this particular one is a green tea one that I had made. I had trained it from a brown tea kombucha to a Jun kombucha, so it just took time in changing its diet. This is the mother, which is the original bacteria, and every time I make kombucha, it makes these babies. And so I could share the babies with you if you want to make your own kombucha at home. And here's how you would do it. First, you need to brew some tea and find a jar that you want to keep it in. So this jar is humongous. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use my old kombucha serving jar. So the serving jar has the backslosh, which is the batch of old kombucha, which I'm going to use to kickstart the new batch. So you'll need some old kombucha, and then you're going to add green tea, which is slightly above room temperature. This is about 2.5 quarts of green tea, which you can make with about 4 tea packets. So you're going to add that in, making sure it's just slightly above room temperature. I buy these little thermal strips to keep track. You can get those at the pet store, in the fish section. And what you'll also want to get is pH test strips, which I'll use in a moment. So what you'll need next is honey, which is the other thing that your SCOBY will eat. So for about 2.5 quarts of green tea, I'm going to add about 6 or 7 tablespoonfuls of honey. Then you will mix it together to make sure that the honey and the green tea dissolve into one another. And you'll want to test the pH of the solution. You'll want it to be at around a pH of 4. So with my sloth that I've put in, my back sloth, I am around a 4. If you found that you weren't at a 4, you could add some Bragg's apple cider vinegar. I like doing that, or any sort of vinegar. So once the environment's acidic enough and room temperature enough, then you're going to add your SCOBY. So you could take one of the babies from another batch, or you could cut a piece off an old SCOBY as long as it covers at least 25% of the surface of your liquid. And then what you could do is you could use fabric to cover the top of your jar and an elastic. But in this particular case, I have a SCOBY lid, which is, it has a little screen in it because I'm a little bit more dedicated to kombucha, I guess. Then you let it sit for 2 weeks, and then you should have some very delicious Jun kombucha. So let me know if you want to try it out, and I'll give you a SCOBY and some backslosh.